The Buddha sat quietly beneath a banyan tree, his gaze serene. As disciples gathered to listen to his wisdom, a young man approached him, holding a small device tightly, his face shadowed with concern. "Master," the young man began, bowing deeply, "I am trapped by this device. It controls my mind and steals my peace." Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, listened quietly, his presence calm as the stillness of the morning air. "Ananda, the pain you see outside is but a reflection of humanity's unrest within," the Buddha spoke gently. The Buddha nodded, his voice calm and measured. "The device in your hand is but a reflection of your inner desires, not the root of them." He reached for a nearby lotus, its petals fresh with morning dew, and held it out to the young man. "Observe the lotus," the Buddha said. Ananda sat silently, absorbing the words as if they were raindrops falling into a thirsty well. The disciples closed their eyes, their breathing steady, their spirits seeking the balm of wisdom. The Buddha continued, "This device is not the mud. It is not the lotus. It is but a tool, nothing more." Buddha points to the ground, where an ant navigates its path amid scattered grains of sand. Even this ant walks with mindfulness, unhurried, yet determined. "What do you seek in the device, young one? What do you hope to find?" The young man sighed deeply and confessed, "I seek joy, acceptance, and escape from my worries. Yet, they always elude me. As you walk, let each step affirm your existence, and let existence affirm your place in the cosmos." A disciple stumbles, distracted by the distant honking of a car, and Buddha turns toward him. "I have been drinking from the wrong source." The Buddha inclined his head, affirming the young man's insight. "Indeed, seeking joy where it cannot be found is like grasping at shadows in the dark." The disciples murmured among themselves, the weight of the teaching settling upon their minds like gentle rain upon fields. "This flower is like us, finding growth in the hardest places, reaching toward light despite its surroundings." His disciples kneel, observing the flower, its vibrant colors a vivid contrast to the dull concrete. He pointed to a stream flowing nearby, its waters clear and cool, reflecting the sky above in shimmering ripples. Water flows freely, finding its path between stones and obstacles. Your thoughts, too, can flow when freed from clinging. The young man listened intently, holding each word like a precious gem. As the Buddha continued his teaching, "Consider this each time you reach for the device. Pause and ask, what am I seeking now?" The Buddha then turned to his disciples, spreading his teaching to all who were gathered there under the banyan tree. Awareness is the first step toward liberation. Without it, you are like a leaf caught in the winds of desire. One of the older disciples nodded solemnly and asked, "Master, is it wrong to use the device at all? Should we cast it away entirely?" The Buddha shook his head, his tone resolute yet kind. "No, my friend, it is not the device that binds you, but your attachment to it that breeds suffering." The young man looked again at the lotus, now resting peacefully upon the ground, untouched by the soil around it. "Master," he said, his voice steady, "I understand now. Even the slightest action creates ripples. Your walk shapes the world in ways unseen, yet profoundly felt. You have begun to see clearly. Young one, use the device for its purpose, not for filling an endless void." The disciples nodded in unison, their faces alight with understanding. As the Buddha concluded his teaching with a final thought, "Let each of you be as the lotus, rooted in the world yet rising above it, untainted and free." The young man bowed deeply, the device now resting quietly in his palm, no longer a chain but a tool. The Buddha closed his eyes, returning to his meditation, as the banyan tree swayed gently in the morning breeze. Another day, another moment of serenity. The Buddha sat by the river, His disciples gathered to hear his teachings. The young man from before arrived, bowing deeply, his eyes reflecting both humility and struggle. The disciples closed their eyes, standing still, their awareness deepening with every passing moment. Buddha speaks softly, his voice carrying both gentleness and resolve. Stillness reveals truths hidden in motion. He walks alone for a while, giving his disciples space to absorb his teachings without distraction. It mirrors the sky, the Buddha continued. But it is not the sky itself. Can the reflection ever replace the source? The young man frowned slightly, thoughtful, and replied, "No, Master. The reflection is beautiful but fleeting. The sky above remains constant and real." The Buddha smiled gently, his words deliberate, yet infused with compassion. Your device offers reflections too. Images, opinions, fleeting moments that allure and distract. But do they truly nourish your spirit? The disciples murmured among themselves, intrigued by the metaphor and the depth of the teaching unfolding before them. Life is the path, Buddha continues. It stretches infinitely, and every step reaffirms your presence upon it. The disciples bow their heads, a gesture of gratitude, their spirits uplifted by his teachings. The Buddha nodded, taking the stone back and gently casting it into the water. "Now, observe its journey," he said. The stone sank slowly, the ripples spreading outward, mingling with the reflection of the sky. "Do you see?" the Buddha asked, his tone serene. The reflection changes, the stone sinks, yet the river flows on. To let go is to find peace. The disciples departed, each step echoing the lessons etched into their souls by the Master's timeless words. Ananda followed, his heart illuminated, sensing the interconnected threads binding the forest's sorrow to humanity's awakening. Buddha smiles and speaks softly. The city is an endless labyrinth. Within each twist lies a choice waiting to be made. Awareness is the key to liberation. Turning to his disciples, the Buddha extended the teaching, ensuring all could benefit from the wisdom being shared. The disciples pause, uncertainty crossing their expressions, as each tries to discern which path holds truth, meaning, or safety. Buddha steps forward, his gaze steady, and points to each trail, his voice calm yet piercing. "Choose not with haste," he continues, his tone holding wisdom. "Choices made mindfully create harmony. To find it, you must look beyond illusions." The young man raised his eyes, turning to the Buddha, and asked, "Is this why mindfulness is so important, Master?" "It reveals what is real and unchanging within us." The Buddha inclined his head, his response like a flowing stream, smooth and resonant. "Yes, mindfulness frees you from chasing fleeting shadows, showing you the light that was always within." The river continued its gentle course, carrying the stone downstream as the disciples meditated on the teaching they had received. "Master," the young man asked again, his curiosity unyielding, "how do I practice this mindfulness? How do I train my mind to stay aware?" The Buddha gestured for the young man to sit closer, his words soft yet purposeful, guiding the disciple toward the answer. "Begin by observing your thoughts without judgment, as you would watch the rivers flow. Do not cling to them," he continued, his voice steady. "When you reach for the device, pause and ask yourself, what am I seeking in this moment? And is it real?" The young man bowed his head, his heart opening to the teaching. As he replied, "I understand, Master. What truly sustains life?" The merchant bowed his head, struggling to answer, his mind tangled between the value of his wares and the starkness of survival. The Buddha turned to his disciples, his eyes unwavering as he addressed their collective conscience. "Remember," the Buddha concluded, addressing both the young man and his gathered disciples, "truth is often hidden beneath the surface. Seek it patiently and mindfully. Every choice casts a shadow." Buddha continues, But shadows are born of light. Choices illuminate paths, not hinder them. The Buddha closed his eyes, returning to his meditation. As the river flowed endlessly under the watchful gaze of the stars. Another day. Another chapter in the endless story of life. The Buddha walked along a forest path with his disciples. The young man who had sought guidance earlier approached him. His posture straight, his expression serene. "Master," the young man said softly, "I have followed your teachings and found peace. Yet I wonder if I have truly transformed." The Buddha stopped near a clearing where sunlight filtered through leaves, creating dappled patterns on the earth below. "Tell me," the Buddha replied, "do you still feel the pull of the device? Or has its grip upon you lessened?" The young man hesitated, then answered, "I feel its pull faintly, Master, but it no longer controls me as it once did." The Buddha inclined his head slightly, his voice steady yet kind. "You have begun to walk the middle path, balancing engagement and detachment. This is the seed of true freedom." One of the disciples stepped forward, his curiosity evident, and asked, "Master, how can we know if we are truly free from desire and attachment?" The Buddha gestured toward a bird perched upon a high branch, its song filling the air with melody. "Observe the bird," he said. "It sings without clinging to the sound, flying freely without chains." Freedom is the absence of craving. The young man listened intently, his thoughts swirling like leaves in the autumn wind, seeking clarity in the Buddha's words. "Master," he asked, "does the absence of craving mean we should renounce all things, including this device and the joys it brings?" The Buddha shook his head gently, his tone firm yet compassionate. "Renunciation does not mean rejection. It means mindful use without attachment. Joy is not wrong, but clinging to it brings suffering." He picked up a fallen leaf and held it out to the young man, its surface veined with intricate patterns. "This leaf," the Buddha explained, "is beautiful, yet impermanent. Cherish its beauty without despairing when it fades away." Buddha gestures for the group to gather, their journeys reconnecting. As they meet again beneath an old, sprawling oak tree, they sit in silence, their breaths steady, as Buddha kneels before them, his posture exuding both humility and strength. "Begin by observing the purpose of your actions. Ask yourself, does this serve my peace? Or does it bind me further?" He pointed to the forest path ahead, its course winding and uncertain, shrouded in both light and shadow. "The path of liberation is not straight, nor free of obstacles, yet each step taken mindfully brings you closer." The young man nodded, his resolve clear, and asked, "What should I do when I face temptation?" "Master, when the device whispers to me again." The Buddha sat upon a nearby rock, his posture steady, his presence grounding the gathering in the present moment. "When temptation arises," he said, "pause and breathe. Examine its roots, its nature, its impermanence. Awareness alone weakens its power." He picked up a stone and cast it into a nearby stream, watching ripples expand outward, then fade away. "Do you see?" he asked. "Temptation, like the ripples, is transient. Let this desert be your teacher, your guide, and your mirror," the Buddha concluded. "Through its silence, it speaks truths that cannot be ignored." "Master," he said, his voice steady, "I feel I can walk this path now. I will strive to act with mindfulness and intention." The Buddha nodded, his approval like the gentle warmth of dawn breaking over a still horizon. The middle path is one of practice and patience. Each moment of awareness strengthens the foundation of your freedom. Turning to his disciples, the Buddha extended the teaching further, ensuring all could benefit from its universal truth. "Remember," he said, "the device, like all worldly things, is impermanent. It is neither friend nor foe, but a mirror of your mind. Stillness is not the absence of movement," Buddha explains. but the perfect balance between action and awareness. Chaos and peace, a vendor calls out, his words urgent yet inviting, drawing people toward his stall, his energy rippling into the surrounding space. The Buddha closed his eyes, returning to meditation, the forest alive with the whispers of the wind and the songs of birds. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.